Great. And I apologize, I am double booked, so I have a presentation that I'm giving at another meeting at 10:30, so I'll switch over after I'm finished here, but I just wanted to give you a heads up. So, as we're talking about today, just trying to, reboot or, kind of reinvigorate the work group. One of the things that, we had discussed was that maybe it would be worth going through the exercise at some point to develop a charter so that because it's bringing together various groups, being able to lay out what the goals of the group are, how the groups interact, those type of details could be good to kind of hash out, and a charter would be a good way of doing that. So you can go to the next slide. And so, obviously I'm sure most of us have gone through the process of going through charters, but some of their benefits are just to be able to establish what the goals and purpose of a group is. And so, what we're thinking of doing is developing a subcommittee to kind of start looking through those questions, and we can even start discussing those today. Essentially, some of the roles that this group could play would be, as we're talking about, just serve as a venue for statewide coordination. There are these various groups that are collecting relevant monitoring data, and what we could do is view this group, the Safe to Swim work group under the council, as an opportunity to try to bring those various groups together to try to fill in kind of a bigger picture for the state of California. And so that's something that this group could consider moving forward. In additional, as Eric and Karen were mentioning, having the statewide portal is another resource that this group could help serve to promote and enhance. And so, the various data that's being collected, trying to make those data available through the Safe to Swim portal. That's a resource that we're hoping to kind of fill in and to continue to improve, just because, when people are wondering where to go to swim in their area, it's, often nicer to be able to look at a statewide picture and to kind of see all the information that's available in one location. And so that's what the statewide portal could serve as. And then also, that could also highlight gaps that are currently underway or that exist for monitoring data, and maybe this group could consider trying to fill in certain gaps or try to coordinate with other groups or identify efforts that could fill in gaps in the monitoring data and the locations that data is being collected. And as I mentioned with the top 5 areas, maybe looking into the methods consistency and streamlining processes so that data is or the data that's being collected or the monitoring samples and information that's collected could be processed quicker. So maybe like through some sort of coordinated methodology, and that this group could help to further develop those, such as the molecular methods. So that was just kind of to get the juices going for people, but really we thought that this discussion could, I guess, start off by just starting, we've been talking a lot, so want to hear from the folks in the room and on the phone, whether or not they, the things that we're talking about resonate with them, if it seems like the things that we're discussing seem to be of importance to the various groups that are involved, and what could the role of this group be. We can, start discussing opportunities for, the coordination aspects this group could provide. What are the priority areas that this group could serve to, promote? Those types of mission and goals kind of questions are something that this we could just start discussing today, as well as just the role of the group relative to the other groups. So one of the points that we wanted to make is that people shouldn't view that a Safe to Swim work group is by any means replacing the other existing monitoring groups that are currently monitoring in California. But rather, it's more of a venue to try to promote broader coordination statewide. And so that could be something that a charter could help to flesh out, to kind of put those concerns at rest if that is a concern for folks. So that's kind of where we were thinking that the charter could help to kind of lay that stuff out, help to kind of identify goals so that the work group has a clear focus and purpose. So anyways, with that, I can open it up to other, Karen or Eric, if you have anything else to add. But one of the questions that we could start off with is, what are the mission and goals that this group could provide? What are important topics that this group could serve to address that are of importance to the various groups? I don't know if that's something that would be a good conversation starter.
Yeah, so if anyone in the room, I have these fun little microphones, I can come and break one and set it up next to you. Does anyone have any suggestions of things they want to add to the charter or wants to volunteer themselves or their staff to help us write some of the charter?
Well, right now we don't have a charter. We do have examples. Chris, we have 3 working groups that have really good charters, correct?
Correct. So I believe Eric and Karen had included links to those in the agenda. Those are some examples that people can look to. We can do those now if you want. But essentially, the areas that they're the common kind of sections of the charters that the various examples show is providing some background for the work group. What are the mission and goals? Those are kind of the things that I was mentioning. And then also it could go into questions like meeting frequency, the role of, the membership and leadership in the group. Those types of questions can be addressed in the charter. You can also, discuss, as I mentioned, meeting frequency. I would say meet as frequently as the group thinks is necessary. There's no need to have monthly meetings or whatever if there doesn't seem to be a need for that. They could be twice a year if that was what is of importance. And what often is something that's useful is having subcommittees that if come and go depending on the need, and those can be meeting more frequently based on the need. So those kind of details can be addressed through the charter, and those are kind of common themes that you'll see in the examples that were included in the agenda. And one of the other things, just those can be short documents too. So don't be afraid of taking part because it's a lengthy document. They could be 1 or 2 pages, depending on how detailed you want to get. So yeah, sorry, I don't know if Karen, you were starting to say something.
Yeah, that's okay. So another thing we want to do with the charter is to clarify the differences between the beach group, the inland group, and the safe to swim group. We don't want to duplicate any of the same efforts and have the same things being discussed. I think that was it, yeah.
Yeah, the charter really is to help us understand our relationships with the Monitoring Council and with other organizations. If you've ever been with a nonprofit or established an entity, having a roadmap for that group is very important, and that's what the charter does. It's like a work plan, but without all the tasks associated with it. We do have a presentation queued up, but I think this would be a good time for us to go around our table and introduce yourself, and if you'd like to participate in this initial step here of helping us form a charter. The charter's not for us. We have our job. We're going to do what we need to do, but in order to really get a working group that's functional and has direction and clarity, we need to get participation from outside state. With that, let's start with introductions and such from this corner. Okay.
My name is Jenny Marcon. I'm Supervising Environmental Health Specialist from Riverside County. I actually work in the food and pool program, so I'm here just to kind of absorb as much information on all of this as I can, so it's fairly new to me.
Oh, thank you for coming.
For having me.
My name is Kristopher. I'm also with the County Environmental Health. Here just doing kind of background research for a presentation that we'll be giving in September.
Diane O'Donoghue,
city and county of San Francisco, water, power, and sewer, and it makes quite a trip here. But I've been 2010 while following the portals and was actually helping with those 13 questions. So, I don't think I can devote much time right now to the charter, though.
Jason Freshwater, Santa Ana Regional Board. I'm the rep for the Southern California Beach Water Quality Monitoring Group, and so this is one here up from that. And I recently went to the Water Quality Monitoring Council, which is another step up, and I'm just kind of getting an idea of organizationally the hierarchy of how this is working out. I deal mostly with the MBLs, and so I'm kind of at the bottom of that stack, I guess.
I'm Jeremy Haas. I'm from the San Diego Regional Water Quality Control Board. You know, I think we might be interested in helping with the charter, but kind of like Jason says, I'm not really sure what the opportunities are, given there's the local group, you know, the Southern California Beach Group, the statewide group, and then there's like the council. And so I thought I'd find a little better understanding maybe of what the possibilities are. We would be in a better position to help.
This is where we make our possibilities.
So, you know, we just finished a triennial review of our own beach water quality recreational standards, kind of from the state board, and so we learned a few things and have a lot of kind of questions that came out of that. And I don't know if a statewide safe swim group is the place to ask those questions, or if it should be the Southern California one, where it's, you know, more kind of local specific. But I can mention a couple if you're interested to see what happens. Great, okay. And then we also, I'll just say, we also, Helen Yu from our office is calling in, and so she might have some things to add if you go to the phone. But the first one is really kind of fundamental, is like, how safe is safe, right? So is the standard that EPA is suggesting the states adopt like, are we cool with that? You know, it's 32, like.
Yeah, in order to you know, keep on time, you know,
That's one.
thanks for those. Can you share those with me and I'll send those out?
Yeah, sure. I'd be happy to help out, or people can chit-chat during the breaks and stuff.
Okay, thank you.
And sorry to interrupt real quick. I just wanted to say this is Chris Jones, and I have to switch over to my other presentation. But thanks you all for taking part, and I think this is an important conversation, and I appreciate you guys taking part today. So with that, I'll talk to you later.
Thanks, Chris. Hey, Chris, I have a question before you sign off. Is
Yeah.
there a listserv that all the participants here can sign up for to get announcements from the Water Quality Monitoring Council, future meetings, stuff like that?
Yeah, so we do have the LIRIS list for the Monitoring Council as a whole, and we should still have a LIRIS list set up for the Safe to Swim work group, but I believe that that's still active on the State Board's website. So if you guys, you can show them the link to the LIRIS list sign-up sheet or the sign-up page on the State Board site if you want, and people can sign up for any of the council's efforts that they'd want to. So, but yeah, if you have any other questions, feel free to let me know.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chris.
You're welcome. All right.
We have some detailed information on how you can sign up for all of the current working groups details. Let's continue to go around the table here quickly.
Excuse me, Andrea Krumbacker, I'm with Western Solutions. I've been involved with the Beach Water Quality Group for quite a while, but this is new, and I was kind of trying to figure out how the hierarchy are working.
It's not always a hierarchy. It's just an amalgamation of things.
Okay, well that helps clarify too. So yeah, I'm willing to help with whatever, as long as I can figure out what something meaningful to do.
Hi, I'm Josh Westfall with the Sanitation District of LA County.
James Fortuna, I'm with Orange County Public Works and Stormwater Program. Participate in other beach water quality efforts like our problems here. So we're just learning. Yeah, probably with Orange County Public Works, South Orange County Water and Assessment. I work with beach water quality because it's my first time work group. Christian Lannan with the Third Priority Foundation. It's basically been collecting data of the different beach water quality monitoring programs around the country. I really like the Safe to Swim program, so here to learn more about it.
Amanda Wagner with Field and Bay. I personally do more inland water quality monitoring, but that'd be.
Ryan Spears, with Field and Bay. I run our downtown spring quality program. I also help oversee the Workgroup program, and we certainly have a lot at stake to see this worker succeed. I think we're particularly interested in having kind of a one-stop shop of being able to obtain bacterial data that's up to date and in one place.
And Mark Sartain, also the State Water Resources Control Board. And we'll hear from you next. So yeah, you'll hear all about bacteria in a minute. So Alicia Winslow, I work with the Central Valley Regional Water Board. I'm the swamp coordinator there, the Surface Water Ambient Monitoring Program, and for the past decade we've been doing summer recreation monitoring in freshwater swimming areas. And I'm also one of the few members on our Inland Beaches Workgroup, and we're hoping to get some more membership and hopefully keep that going.
My name is Lisa Frias. I'm with Orange County Healthcare Agencies. I'm the Environmental Health Director, and so definitely would be willing to have staff participate in helping the charter.
I'm Craig Wong. I'm with the City of Long Beach Environmental Health. We do monitoring 15 sites on a weekly basis in the city, ocean and bay sites. And we're nearby, so we're interested in helping with whatever way we can to get in any sub-committee activity or committee activity, so we can come whenever you want to have a meeting and participate.
I'm Rafael Maestro with the State Water Board, Office of Information Management and Analysis. Chief data scientist, and what we do is trying to bring all the data sets that we have at the water boards into information that can be used and shared with the public. And I have a lot of visualizations about the beach watch data sets that we're sharing today.
Ryan Dwight, Coastal Water Quality Group, and more than happy to help out with offerings further. Clearly the Safe to Swim word needs better definition, and if we're just talking about bacterial standards or also other issues with safety, so just those types of delineation.
That's great stuff to go into the charter.
I'm Heather Boyd with the Santa Ana Regional Water Board. I'm the swamp coordinator and also I don't know if I have time to discuss this charter, but I'm certainly
David Jensen, Section Chief over Food and Waterborne Diseases Australia. Thank you for talking about
I'm with personal website, so I've been involved a lot with the beach water quality Workgroup, so the Safe to Swim, and mostly have been kind of just interested in sharing knowledge, scientific knowledge, and sharing insights. So I'm happy to contribute in other ways I can. In my current job, we're developing fully automated systems to make that to be lower the barrier to use genetic methods. So hopefully that could be useful for the group as well.
Brett Hansen from Global Environmental Legacy Foundation, bring new innovative sciences from universities and through reclamation. Solutions for the pollution problems. So I'm very interested in helping out with the chart.
We can now take folks on the phone. If you could introduce yourself, put yourself off mute and then back on mute.
This is Brian Courier, Office Water Programs at Sacramento State, and like many others, I'm just listening in and figuring out what role I might play.
Hi, this is June. I'm sorry. Hi, this is
Go
June
ahead.
calling. Thank you. Okay. This is June calling from Regional Water Board, Los Angeles region. I'm a swamp coordinator for the region. Thank you.
Hi, this is Lori Weber with the State Water Board, and I'm the project lead on the new bacteria objectives that Lark's going to talk about in the next presentation.
Hi, this is Helen Yu calling from San Diego Water Board. Jeremy just mentioned I have been participating in the Southern California, the Beach Water Quality Group, and this time is trying to understand more about the organization, the association between the Water Council and the different groups.
Hi, this is Jennifer Kraut with Humboldt Baykeeper, and we've been working on a genetic study with the Regional Board and County Public Health, and also interested to hear Megan's talk about homeless camps. Thanks.
Hi, everyone. Go ahead.
Sorry, hi everyone, this is Michelle Pang. I'm with the Swamp Unit here at the State Water Board, and later I'll be presenting a potential update to the Safe to Swim portal map.
All right. I don't think anyone else will be speaking. This is Marissa Van Dyke, also at the State Water Board in the Swamp IQ Unit. I'm currently the Bacteria Data Manager, and I also work on quality assurance for bacteria data and that kind of thing. I'm not sure what role I would play on that, but I can help with some like the technical information, especially like defining key terms, perhaps part of the charter. But yeah, please be included. Thank you.
Kelly Goodwin, NOAA. I don't know whether there's a role for me yet, but that's why I'm listening in now.
This is Darcy Ebentier. I'm with Wood Environment and Infrastructure.
Great. I see a couple other people that are just on the web that are probably too shy to call in and announce themselves. So if you could email Eric and or myself, just so that we know you participated and any information about how you could participate, that would be great.
Thank you.
All right. I got Scott McReynolds and Kevin Moncrief from DWR up in Oroville, and we're listening in because we're developing a monitoring plan for our FERC relicensing, and we've got a pretty large bacteria monitoring program we're going to have to put in place, and we're very interested in having the Safe to Swim portal as our outlet for information. So as we can help, we will.
Thank you.
Hi, this is Sam Safi from Regional San in Sacramento. Just trying to learn what the work group is about.
Hi, this is Bev Anderson from Office of Information Management and Analysis up in at the State Water Board, and I don't know what role I could play, but interested in all the data that's coming in and how we might use that in performance measures perhaps, or just working with the data.
Great, thanks, Beth. I think we got everybody on the phone, so we're going to go ahead and continue to Lark's presentation. If you could go ahead and mute yourself again if you're on the phone. Thanks.